At midnight last night, the Department of Homeland Security shut down. Not the entire federal government, just Homeland Security, 260,000 federal employees. And the reason it shut down tells you everything about where we are right now, because this is not a budget dispute. This is not about spending levels or fiscal policy. This is a shutdown over whether federal immigration agents should be allowed to kill American citizens without legal consequences. According to NPR, PBS News, NBC News, Fox News, The Grio, and multiple other outlets reporting on this story, at 12:01 a.m. on Saturday, February 14th, 2026, the Department of Homeland Security lost its funding. According to those same sources, this affects more than 260,000 federal employees. And according to Fox News reporting, this is the third shutdown in recent months. But unlike the 43-day full government shutdown that paralyzed Congress last year and the 4-day partial shutdown earlier this month, this one is different. This one affects only DHS. Now, let me tell you why this matters and why it happened. According to NPR, The Grio, and NBC News reporting, the shutdown happened because Democrats are demanding reforms to immigration enforcement after 2 U.S. citizens were shot dead by immigration officers in Minneapolis. Not suspected undocumented immigrants, not people without papers, American citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, both killed by federal immigration agents in January 2026. According to The Grio and NBC News, the deaths happened during something called Operation Metro Surge in Minneapolis. And according to those reports, Renee Good was shot by immigration officers and Alex Preddy was shot by Border Patrol officers. American citizens killed by federal agents enforcing immigration law. And according to all the reporting, Democrats said they will not fund DHS until reforms are cemented into law. Not promises, not guidelines, not internal policy changes, law. Because according to The Grio, 2 DHS officers reportedly lied about their involvement in the shooting of a Venezuelan immigrant in Minnesota in January. Both officers were placed on administrative leave, which The Grio describes as a rare acknowledgement of improper behavior. So Democrats looked at federal agents killing American citizens, looked at federal agents lying about shootings, and said, we need accountability before we fund this department. And Republicans said no. And at midnight, DHS shut down. Now, according to NPR reporting, Democrats have spelled out a list of 10 demands. Let me tell you what those demands are because they reveal what is actually happening in immigration enforcement right now. According to the reporting, Democrats want body cameras for immigration officers. They want to ban agents from wearing masks to conceal their identities. They want judicial warrants required before agents can enter private property. They want raids banned at schools, hospitals, and churches. They want racial profiling prohibited. They want use of force standards established. Read those demands again. Body cameras, no masks, warrants, no raids at schools and hospitals, no racial profiling, use of force standards. These are not radical proposals. These are basic accountability measures that most police departments in America already have. And Republicans are refusing them. According to NPR and The Grio, some of these demands have bipartisan support. Body cameras, for example. But according to those reports, Republicans have pushed back on other demands, like prohibiting agents from wearing masks to conceal their identities. And according to the reporting, Republicans say doing so would make it easier for people to dox federal officers. Think about that argument. Republicans are saying federal immigration agents need to be able to hide their faces so people cannot identify them. Not undercover agents, not intelligence officers, immigration agents conducting enforcement operations in American cities. And they need their identities hidden. Why? So they cannot be held accountable if they kill someone. According to NBC News, Republicans in the Senate tried to pass a short-term funding extension on Thursday to allow time for negotiations to play out. But according to that same reporting, Democrats blocked that measure before lawmakers in both chambers left the Capitol for recess. And according to NBC, the vote came after a White House counteroffer that Democrats rejected as insufficient and incomplete. So Republicans offered to keep negotiating. Democrats said no. Because negotiations without accountability just means more time for agents to operate without body cameras, without warrants, without use of force standards, more time for what happened in Minneapolis to happen again. Now, here is the part that makes this shutdown different from every other shutdown. According to NPR and NBC News, ICE and CBP operations will continue. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and Customs and Border Protection will keep operating. Why? Because according to those reports, Both agencies received more than $70 billion from Congress last summer as part of the GOP's massive tax and spending bill, $70 billion, already appropriated, already spent. So the agencies Democrats are trying to reform are fully funded and will not stop operating during the shutdown. According to NPR, ICE Acting Director Todd Lyons said the shutdown could affect DHS's work on transnational crime, but he did not note any impact to immigration operations. And according to that same reporting, CBP Commissioner Rodney Scott said America becomes less safe, but did not detail how the shutdown would affect personnel. So immigration enforcement continues. Fully funded, no interruption, but according to all the reporting, TSA agents will work without pay. FEMA employees will work without pay. Coast Guard members will work without pay. Secret Service agents will work without pay. The people protecting airports, responding to disasters, securing the coast, guarding the president, they all work without paychecks. But immigration enforcement continues unaffected. Let me tell you what that means practically. According to the GRIO, the TSA employs roughly 64,000 people. According to Fox News, TSA agents are responsible for security checks at nearly 440 airports across the country. And according to the GRIO, TSA Acting Administrator Ha Nguyen McNeil testified at a House hearing on Wednesday that during the long government shutdown that lasted months in 2025, we saw a lot of folks have to take on second jobs, making for extremely long workdays. So TSA agents, the people screening passengers at every airport in America, will work without pay while remembering what happened last time, when they had to take second jobs, when they worked extremely long days, when their families went without paychecks for months, and travelers could feel the effects if the shutdown lasts more than a few weeks. According to NPR, FEMA will also be affected. But according to FEMA Associate Administrator Greg Phillips testifying to Congress on Wednesday, the Disaster Relief Fund has sufficient balances to continue emergency response activities for the foreseeable future. So if a hurricane hits, if an earthquake strikes, if wildfires rage, FEMA can still respond. But the people responding will not get paid. And according to Fox News, the Secret Service employs roughly 8,000 people, 94% of whom will be forced to work without pay. According to that reporting, Deputy Secret Service Director Matthew Quinn warned that a shutdown could hurt progress being made to improve the service in the wake of the July 2024 assassination attempt against President Trump. So the Secret Service, still recovering from failing to protect the president during an assassination attempt, will operate without funding while trying to implement reforms. But immigration enforcement, the thing Democrats are trying to reform, continues fully funded. According to NBC News reporting, House Appropriations Chairman Tom Cole, a Republican from Oklahoma, said Democrats are hurting TSA agents, hurting air traffic controllers that would get a pay raise, keeping Coast Guard members from getting paid, making sure we cannot fully fund FEMA. And according to Cole's quote in that report, ICE is fully funded. The Border Patrol is fully funded. The things they want to shut down aren't going to shut down. That is a Republican chairman acknowledging that the shutdown hurts TSA, hurts Coast Guard, hurts FEMA, but does not affect the agencies Democrats are trying to reform. And according to Cole's quote, this is all politics. There's no serious policy issue here. No serious policy issue. 2 American citizens were killed by federal immigration agents. 2 agents lied about shooting a Venezuelan immigrant. And a Republican chairman says there is no serious policy issue. Think about what that statement reveals. American citizens dead. Agents lying, and it is dismissed as politics with no serious policy issue. According to NBC News, Republicans have argued that changes are already being made in response to the Minneapolis killings. Trump sent Border Czar Tom Homan to replace Border Patrol Commander Gregory Bovino in Minneapolis. DHS said it was acquiring and deploying body cameras for its officers in the field. And on Thursday, Homan said the Trump administration was ending its immigration enforcement surge in Minnesota. So Republicans are saying, look, we fired 1 commander, we are getting body cameras, we ended the operation, problem solved. But Democrats are saying those are not reforms cemented into law. Those are temporary gestures that can be reversed the moment Democrats stop applying pressure. And history proves Democrats are right. According to the timeline, the Minneapolis killings happened in January. Democrats demanded reforms. Republicans resisted. A shutdown approached. And suddenly, Republicans announced body cameras and ended the Minnesota operation. That is not reform. That is political maneuvering. And the moment this shutdown ends without binding legal reforms, those promises become optional. According to NPR and multiple sources, Congress left Washington on Thursday for a week-long recess. That means the earliest this shutdown can end is February 23rd, when lawmakers return. That is 9 days of TSA agents working without pay, 9 days of FEMA employees missing paychecks, 9 days of Coast Guard members and Secret Service agents trying to figure out how to pay their bills while protecting the country and the president. And according to Senate Majority Leader John Thune, as reported by NPR, lawmakers have been told to be ready to return from recess if a deal on DHS funding is reached. But as of now, no deal exists. Democrats are holding firm on legal reforms. Republicans are refusing. And 260,000 federal employees are caught in between. The question is, which side blinks first? Do Democrats accept insufficient reforms because TSA agents need paychecks? Or do Republicans accept legal accountability because 2 American citizens are dead and more will die without reform? That question will determine whether this shutdown lasts 9 days or 9 weeks. And it will determine whether federal immigration agents operate under the rule of law or above it. And here is what should terrify everyone watching this. If Democrats cave, if they fund DHS without binding legal reforms, the message to every federal immigration agent in America is clear. You can kill American citizens. You can lie about it. And as long as you are enforcing immigration law, you will face no legal consequences. Body cameras will be promised, but never deployed. Warrants will be suggested, but never required. Use of force standards will be discussed, but never implemented. And the next time federal agents kill an American citizen, we will be right back here. Another shutdown, another set of promises, another American family burying someone who should still be alive. That is what is at stake here. Not budget numbers, not spending levels. The rule of law itself, whether federal agents operate under it or above it, whether American citizens have constitutional rights or whether those rights simply end the moment immigration enforcement begins. Democrats are saying very clearly and explicitly that American citizens have rights even during immigration enforcement operations. Republicans are saying immigration enforcement is significantly more important than American citizens' constitutional rights and protections. And at midnight last night, the Department of Homeland Security shut down because nobody in Washington could resolve that fundamental disagreement about the rule of law in America.